Hey, welcome back to part 2 of this Everything Goes Good and Bad. There will be spoilers for all Endgame of Kingdom Hearts 3, so that's spoilers for all the Kingdom Hearts plot, which I guess is bad number 1, so don't watch if you don't want to be spoiled.
Alright, we're back. What's first?
What happened?
You abandoned me, that's what. Left me in this shadow prison for more than a decade, knowing what it would do to me. I reached this shore after endless wandering. Waited forever for help to arrive. But no one ever came.
But Riku can't do it alone, so he has to call in the boy raid.
Huh? I made it!
I love Kingdom Hearts! Remember at E3 when we were all freaking out over Anti-Aqua and Nomura was like, guys, I didn't think it would be that big of a deal. It's because he decided to do nothing with it. She's consumed by darkness for like a minute and a half. But I still get to see the light shine on her as she realizes where she is, and oh!
You're home!
Sora, your Kairi is showing. We then get to see a little coup happening from within the organization. Vexen, and by extension Cyrax, enlisting Demyx to deliver replicas to the good guys.
Ha! Yeah, baby! Sign me up! Yes! Demyx time!
Alright, Aqua's here. What's next? Aqua restores the land of departure like a freaking Disney park projection show, and oh my god, it looks so magical! Once upon a time, disgusting. Fantasmic, never heard of her. Galactic spectacular, happily ever after, poo-poo garbage. Speaking of poo-poo garbage, here he come. He's come to let you kick his butt in Aqua's shoes. But not before Ven's heart starts to respond from within Sora. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first time a heartbeat has been used in the Kingdom Hearts series? Weird. So Aqua takes out the trash.
Sorry, but you've seen me too weak, too often. Now it's my turn to shine.
Yeah! What?
I get it. You were my second chance.
Because it's a game mechanic.
Alright, but how are you gonna make me cry?
Good morning, Ven.
Good morning, Aqua.
Alright, Ven's here. What's next? So we get everyone into the same room, everyone gets caught up to speed, make sure everybody knows each other.
Kairi!
Yes! 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 I got 2 free tacos!
And we all swear to get back our missing friends together.
Kairi's right. We're all in this together, Sora.
What happens next are some really nice, quiet character moments of everyone preparing for the final battle, giving us enough time, now that our cast is so huge, to really let it sink in how daunting the task ahead of us is.
Hey,
Why is Riku all alone?
He said he needed time to himself.
Yeah, all of 10 feet away from us. But I understand. If I were Riku, I wouldn't miss my ship becoming canon for all of the worlds.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
I guess now is as good a time as any to talk about attraction flow. And yes, I'm stalling because of Endgame stuff. Attractions are way too much. Calm down, honestly. The only
perfectly
executed one is the Thunder Mountain Train, because you can only use it 2 times in the game. And they're tied to set pieces that work with a big, bombastic Disney park light show. Otherwise, they're triggered too often, and having them available during some major boss fights is a little immersion breaking. Alright. Don't write prophecies into your stories, is the lesson here. So this is where the Kingdom Hearts writing comes back to bite Kingdom Hearts in the butt. I know it's a video game and you have to raise the stakes for the final battle, but having the bad guys try to kill us multiple times before we even get to the part of their plan that they need us for is real dumb. What did you do? I killed all the lights. Why? I don't know. And no one reacts. No one even has a keyblade out because you have to reduce these characters down to cardboard cutouts of themselves so that they can be decimated to fulfill that light is extinguished part of the prophecy that you wrote into the 9th game of a 10-game arc. Luckily, Donald's one brain cell was paying enough attention and he decides to whip out the most powerful magic in all of Square's canon. And he did this because he was so pissed that Terranort tried to go after his daughter-in-law. But every step forward that the characters take in this sequence forces them to take 2 steps back, and now everyone's dead. Anyone else finding this kind of lackluster? I mean, I know a lot of the fault lies with the context and whatever they were trying to do with this sequence, but I feel like this worked so much better in the final battle trailer. Why, do you ask? Listen, do you hear it? If your answer is, I don't hear anything, yeah, there's no music here, and I really think there should be. Because it just feels kinda hollow. There is, inexplicably, no music in a lot of scenes throughout the story. But I don't think any of them were particularly on purpose, but here it is absolutely intentional. Don't get me wrong, I think the music cutting out to emphasize the drama trick is a fun thing to do. But in this case, I think they just try it too much. Sora's scream is preceded by, in, and followed by this empty, unmotivated silence. And when you compare it to... it just gets my heart pumping more. You have to understand that without Shimomura, Kingdom Hearts is just a bunch of stupid words strung together. So we're dead. What does heaven have in store for us? Oh, I could just stay dead all day. But no, we make sure everyone is decidedly not dead, and there's a well-executed callback to the end of Kingdom Hearts 1 with going through all the worlds again while Destati ominously plays in the background.
Sora.
Kairi! I found you!
Oh, Nomura, you hurt me, but it feels so good! Kairi even has to look into the camera like she's on The Office because Sora's being so cute. God! But my favorite part is when they tell us that this is true love without saying the words true love. And that is art. So we get back to the land of the living and, my loves. Why is no one changing anything? They all just specifically acknowledge that they are going in again. Did everyone just forget on the way there? Why is no one doing something?
Do something! Do something! Do something!
The only reason why they're not completely obliterated again is because the Lingering Will shows up, and why he's even there wouldn't make sense if you missed the one skippable cutscene in the entire game, which coincidentally is also the only one Nominee is in. And I'm not just miffed because I personally missed it. I would never do that. What kind of gamer do you think I am? Also, that was the one scene Nominee was in! But everything the Lingering Will does is a hell yeah from me, so why is it that every decision you make is great, followed by the worst ever? Really great payoff. I fucking hate it. So Terranord is blasted away by the Lingering Will, and we're right back to where we were with the Demon Tornado. But it's okay, because Nomura played Automata. Nice. Next, little Repliku comes up to have a tantrum in our faces, but before Riku can kick his own ass, he sends another huge wave of Heartless after us. Can you stop trying to kill us before we get to the thing that you want us to do? But this forces Yin Sid to actually show up and do something! Alright, so now we're really into the fight, and all of the organization's deaths are getting to personally say goodbye to each and every one of them is a gift. I know it might throw some people off because the other members stand back and wait patiently for you to have your moment, but we have a lot of history with all these villains, and they all deserve their proper goodbye. Young Xehanort's death is the best, though, because he's the only one who has to go back and become all these horrible people. And it's the first time his face moves and it gets cut off, and oh, it's perfect. Pro tip, make sure you fight with Aqua and Ven first, because it helps with the urgency. Not by much, but not by much.
We are brothers who together make a greater whole.
Oh, you went full gremlin, didn't you? My brother. So the garbage boy gets sent out to the dump, and we have to deal with Terranord again, who this game goes out of their way to make as terrifying as possible.
What are you doing?
But Terra finally pushes through the Guardian, and oh look! Jason Doring finally got to act!
One day, I will set this right.
But come on, I need that good emotional punch. Come on, like, give it to me.
You found me, just like you promised. Thank you.
Oh. Oh. I gotta talk about Shion. 1. Everyone remembers her too easily. Fighting to keep your friends safe even though they don't know who you are, or building new memories together when they don't have the foundation that you have, has so much angst potential, and you throw it away the instant she comes back. It also devalues Days because that entire game was built around Shion's sacrifice, and having people remember her instantly trivializes that major part of her character and character arc. 2. You do nothing to explain how Shion got out of Sora's heart. I'm really glad that Shion's gonna get her own DLC, but my major fear is that they're going to do the Kingdom Hearts thing and over-explain some concepts while leaving others that really need clarity completely alone. I can fill in the blanks of how Shion joined the real organization. This Shion is either Shion from the past or another replica that Vexen made from his old data. But if you don't show, and I mean explicitly show, how Shion's heart escaped Sora's, what's even the point of making this DLC? As it stands, we see the other 2 hearts that were inside Sora's being released, and Shion deserves as much visual significance as both Roxas and Ven. And just for calling it purposes, I'm gonna say she was released in Arendelle, and Sora's not a super empath. Anna just happened to be struck at the same time. For someone you are trying so desperately to replace another character with, you don't even give Shion enough attention necessary to tell a cohesive story. 3. Why are you trying to replace Kairi with Shion every chance you get?
Roxas will fight in your place. And I'll fight for Kairi.
No, Shion. You shouldn't. Because you have a history of doing that to Kairi. And that hurts.
Kairi!
Sora!
Why don't you like Kairi this much? If you don't like her characterization, you can change it. She's your character. It's in your hands. She hasn't been shown so much that any character trait is feasible. All you have to do is show her! Look at how they massacred my girl. The worst decision you can make in a narrative is to kill a character and not have it mean anything. When this game was in its development and marketing stages, and it was looking like Kairi was going to be a lot more important than she ever had been, I was super nervous that they were going to kill her. And that's what happens in a series with a large cast when suddenly one character rapidly gets more development. Because the creators had decided to kill that character, but realized it wouldn't have a great impact on the audience because there has been nothing for them to really connect with that character. Turns out Nomura wanted to do that, but he didn't want to put in the work for the middle step, so he just skipped it. There's no momentum built up to this moment. Sora even has to stop dead in his tracks to explain to Riku that she's been taken. Oh, has Kairi been kidnapped? Oh, why, yes, she has. Well, thank you so much for keeping me updated on this event. Yes, I am also glad that we cleared this up as well. On the way to the final encounter, you have Sora say something to us as the player, and you choose to give him some flippant observation about the weather?
It's night already?
Sora should be ripping through this maze going, I don't have time for this! Where's Kairi for the entire world to hear? Meanwhile, Riku hears him in the distance and goes, wow. Honey, you got a big storm coming. I can handle that dull, ordinary boy. Oh, yeah, no, Sora's gonna beat you up for sure, but, I'm the storm. And she doesn't even get agency in her death. I know that seems kind of weird because no one chooses to be killed, but she's not even conscious. We don't get to see how that affects her. Give me the struggle. Give me the pain. Give me the thrashing legs and the bloodshot eyes as the darkness chokes the life out of her. That would get my heart pumping. That would get me to connect with the character on a deeper level. That would get me to say, no, Xehanort, please don't do it. Instead of a pit at the bottom of my stomach, pulling down, saying, no, Nomura, please don't do it. And that is, I think, the worst part of this death scene. It's that it rips me out of the story and completely shatters my suspension of disbelief. Because it is so obvious that this is the only way Nomura can think of to write in a last burst of motivation. You say in your message from the director that you rewrote the ending multiple times and took a lot of time deciding how you wanted it to play out on screen. I wonder, in how many of those drafts did you kill Kairi? And in this way? With no one caring? Her friends slinging jokes moments after her death? Okay, now I will be going into the setup for Xehanort getting into Kingdom Hearts and achieving his master goal in a section that I would like to call Xehanort and his stupid plan. Firstly, and again, throwing wave after wave of enemies at your opponents is a good way to get them killed. Not a good way to keep them around for the destined battle that you need us for. According to Terranort, the X-Blade will be forged anyway, which, dumb, stupid, that goes against everything that you've been setting up with us till now, so what are we even doing here?
I plan for every eventuality.
Secondly, why are you writing in this extra step for creating the X-Blade? You always do this. You always make things more needlessly complicated, mostly for yourself. Let me ask you something. Yes, you, the viewer. Before playing Kingdom Hearts 3 and before even reaching the Keyblade Graveyard, when I tell you the clash between 13 darknesses and 7 lights will create the X-Blade to access Kingdom Hearts, did you picture 7 people fighting 13 people in that clash producing the X-Blade? Or did you picture 13 people total being felled, then creating 13 no-name Keyblades, which then formed together to create the X-Blade to access Kingdom Hearts? Also, I thought it was equal parts light and darkness having to clash to create the X-Blade. Why is it that Ven and Vanitas clashing one-on-one to forge an X-Blade works, but now we need 13 and 7? Because the last I checked, and I know I'm not that great with numbers, but 7 isn't equal to 13. But that's old news. That's old stuff to get upset over. Why write in this extra step that only serves to give you more work? You are the one creating the rules. Just make it simpler for yourself.
I plan for every eventuality.
Thirdly, with this 13 no-name policy, there's actually no reason for there to be 7 Guardians. I mean, I know this final level turns out the way it does because video game and the main playable character needs to be in all these little final battles because otherwise it would be disappointing. And that's what makes Xion taking Kairi's place as a Guardian sting all the more, because none of the other Guardians serve any purpose after their individual gauntlets. You could make the argument that they don't even serve any purpose in the first place. All Xehanort ends up needing is 12 darknesses to throw their lives away for him, and 1 light to kill all those darknesses, and to then be sacrificed for the final no-name. And yes, I said 1 light, because leaving Sora alive to come into Kingdom Hearts after you and stop you is a major risk. Because he would go after anybody, regardless of how close their connection to him is, and you chose to sacrifice Kairi?
You require motivation.
For what? To make sure he wants extra revenge on you to stop you from achieving your ultimate goal? After you've killed that last 13th piece, it's checkmate. You've won. So why wouldn't you do that to the 1 light that's capable of stopping you after the fact? But no, you choose to kill that person's practical wife and then use her dead body to hit him over the head with.
I plan for every eventuality.
Fourthly, and here's a good one, even within the rules that you set up with for the no-names, you don't have to kill Kairi. Xion and Xigbar, and if you want to get technical, I guess maybe Terranort too, did not have their nobody or replica bodies destroyed. And you still have no names for them, even after we only fight Xion for all of like 20 seconds, and even after she instantly switches sides. If that's enough to produce a no-name, then firing like a couple dark balls at Kairi for a moment would be enough of a clash to get you what you want. You require motivation? That's not Xehanort talking. That is straight from Nomura's mouth, and that's him saying, I have absolutely no idea how to give Sora motivation other than doing something horrible to Kairi. Lastly, the backup plan for going after the new 7 princesses of Heart is no good because of the rules that you set up with it being the 13 individual clashes of mostly darknesses dying to create the 13 no-names that then combine to form the X-Blade to summon Kingdom Hearts. So, going after them would most likely end up in you decimating all 7 princesses, just going off how you treat the 1 princess that is here, and you still being 6 no-names short of forging the X-Blade. And Xehanort can't kill them himself because they need to be felled by a light in order to produce the right amount of clash between light and darkness according to the prophecy. Why do I like Kingdom Hearts again? You know, you really wrote yourself into a corner with this whole prophecy thing, but then you brought out a straitjacket for the comfort? So after that happens, Sora, Mickey, and Riku all try and fail to stop Xehanort here. And I'd like to give a thank you to David Gallagher for giving this pathetic little scream here. So that I can at least delude myself into thinking that Riku is a little torn up about seeing one of his longest and closest friends being mercilessly murdered in front of him. Axel comes in slinging some jokey jokes.
Sorry we took so long. Had a couple of plot points that needed ironing out.
Why couldn't it have been you that died? It would have done so much for your off-screen redemption arc.
Kairi will be alright. I can feel it.
No offense, Shion, but how the fuck do you know that? Your connection to Kairi is through Sora. There's no direct link between the two of you for you to sense that she's alright. Unless what you're sensing is Sora's own belief that he'll get her back, which I'm all for self-motivation then. But you are the only other person besides Sora to actually acknowledge that something happened to Kairi, so thank you for that. Why are you trying to make me dislike Shion? I like Shion. I like Shion as her own person. So we get into Kingdom Hearts, or Xehanort's heart, which has control of Kingdom Hearts. So Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts. But anyway, like I mentioned at the beginning of these videos, there's no exploration for this and more areas.
Let me in! Let me in!
But Scala is absolutely breathtaking. And along with the vessel designs, even though they were shown in the trailer, oh, and Xehanort's ram armor. Now all of Xehanort's fight sections are good, but herder, watch out. I'm gonna talk about game difficulty, which I'm sure you're all sick of. But all these endgame boss fights punish you for not blocking, and when that's only been the case for one other boss in the entire game, it feels a little mean. And you could say that I should have been practicing blocking the entire game up to this point, but why would I practice blocking if the game's too easy as it is and I could just obliterate instead? I didn't have enough practice. I didn't have enough time to get good.
There is one sky, one destiny.
How dare you stand where she stood! And I personally go into rage form and beat this stinky old man into the dirt. For real though, the mandatory rage form is so good. And Donald and Goofy talking to you through the controller is so cool. Goof? These two gimmicks are so simple, but they put the biggest smile on my face. Look at it. Here it is. I love Kingdom Hearts. So we defeat Xehanort with our big beam of friendship because he forgot how weak his old man bones are. Oh, Xehanort. But I thought you already planned for that eventuality. Now, I've heard a lot of people complain about Xehanort's death and how they made him too sympathetic. And to that I would say, Xehanort's always been sympathetic. Or were you not paying attention? Okay, not sympathetic, but understandable. He has a theory about the universe, that it is unbalanced in the favor of light, and wants to bring about the birth of the new world that will then be balanced. It's the way he goes about it that makes him the villain. He uses Eraqus and his pupils for his own selfish desire to continue his mission. He tortures, maims, and otherwise disrupts the lives of a countless number of people through his unethical experiments as an apprentice. He tries to break free of the binds of destiny by throwing other people's bodies at it. But in the end, there's only ever like two ways to really deal with a villain. You can either completely obliterate them, or talk them out of it. And I think there's a lot of power in someone just talking someone out of doing villainous actions. After all he's done over all these years to all these people, Xehanort is defeated with enough. Now that doesn't mean he's absolved of all of his sins. If he was, Sora might say something like, "Oh, it's okay, you were just following your heart." As Kyrie's still warm blood drips off his fingers. Destiny catches up with Xehanort. And I think wherever he's going, he'll have to do a lot of repenting. Also, having a fucking Bishi form helps with getting you a good ending in Nomura's eyes. We seal Kingdom Hearts and return to the real world. "It's finally over," Mickey says as all my faves dance on Kyrie's fresh grave. But Sora gives the most rousing speech that shows how far he and all of us have come from that tiny little island.
Not for one more second.
Let him go, Mickey. His heart and his mind are made up.
Actually, I kind of just like leaving women in inhospitable environments for extended periods of time. It's kind of my character now. You know, Mickey, I used to like you. Other people disliked that you were never around to really help during the previous games, but I liked the mysterious mentor who only showed up when you truly needed him the most angle. But now that you're here, what would Minnie think?
Please!
Why don't you go explain to someone how you lost your shirt again? And, I know a lot of people are against the Naminé waking up scene, but let me try to alleviate some of your worries. That's kind of what I'm here for. It's kind of what these videos are about. Me trying to help you through your Kingdom Hearts 3 is over grieving process. The people she sees here are members of the organization, yes, but they're ones that she never really interacted with when she was held captive. We at least never see any evidence that Zexion had any contact with her. And from her perspective, her impression of Vexen isn't the most intimidating. The only real bad guy to her here is Ansem the Wise, and he's a reformed racist, so... Yippee-ki-yay! Now, here's the kicker. Sora's death is a narratively sound decision. Hey, put it away. Am I upset that the death of the main character is an ending zinger? Kinda. Would I like a more conclusive and concrete ending to this arc of the series and not just being baited for the next one? Yeah. But that's not the series Nomura made. That's not the series I fell in love with. Kingdom Hearts has always survived on the promise that this payoff will be so cool when it happens in the next game. And what a great promise to make, because tomorrow never comes. You know what I mean? But as it stands for the ending of this game, this 8-ish installment, 17-year arc, is just some major Sokai angst, and that's all I could ever ask for. That's some good angst. What year is that? 2008? Yeah, that's a good year. But it's not like this comes out of nowhere. Sora is told from the very beginning that if he keeps recklessly putting other people before his own well-being, something will have to give. And this is built up and reinforced throughout the game. You all are just upset that your boy's dead. And this is my main message to you if you need to hear it. Kingdom Hearts isn't dead. I definitely had that thought after I finished the game. That's kind of what I was referencing at the very beginning of these videos. How good the highs are and how bad the horrible decisions will have different mileage for people. But if you are sitting there thinking the worst about this game, this series, this director, this developer, because of this ending, I pose this to you. But did it make you feel? Hey, thanks for watching up until this point. So I can thank you for watching up until this point. I know they were long videos, but I had the most fun I think I've ever had with anything with making them. So if you liked them, maybe we'll see you again soon. Bye. Why are you trying to make me dislike Xion? I like Xion. Xion, I'm trying real hard to pronounce her name. Not like I usually do, which is Xion. Like the American that I am, Xion. Xion, let's go, giddy up.